party chats, actually, we invite a lot of experts like you to just talk about things that matter to us, matter to our hearts, and especially for moms. And in this current period, we're having exam preparation time. And I
Yes.
thought it would be so wonderful for you to come and share some of the tips that can help our children. So, yeah, thanks for being here. And Jasline, you are a Singapore's first tactical parenting strategist and study coach as well. So, can you tell us a little bit more about this? Maybe tell us a little bit more about yourself.
All right. So I'm Jasline here, and actually I've been in the corporate world, chartered accountant for 17 years. Okay. But during the journey as a working mom, I think a lot of us, the audience here, are working moms, so I can understand the struggles I had. But throughout the period of my career, I struggled with my son. Okay. So I study issues with him. He has learning difficulties, and he has actually behavioral issues as well. So that's when I actually seek experts. I met with teachers and principals and gone through the struggles of, I think it's a different kind of level, I would say, what our parents are actually having nowadays. And I think studies are so important, as part of our lives. And if we see our children are not doing well, we all get very upset. So that's when I feel that, what I've learned so far, I can actually contribute and I can share with other parents out there who needed my expertise. Yeah. So
Wow,
far,
that's
yeah.
wonderful.
So far, I'm actually have a lot of ways, to help parents and the children. And my two children are the testimonials as well as my students.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Wow, wow. Thank you for sharing about that. So that all those things, experiences that you've gone through has inspired you to help other parents who have gone through the same kind of experience that you had with your son. And maybe share a little bit more about your children, maybe your daughter, and also what was these kind of symptoms that your son had that was really challenging for you.
Well, actually, my daughter was very very bright. Actually, she's very bright, and she actually has not much of an issue. Okay, but of course, I've also learned. When we are young, we want to know how we can help our children to be brighter, right? So we learn all the right brain strategies. So I also use it on my child as well. So it actually did make her really, she can learn a lot of things fast, as well as when she's primary three, she actually was selected to be in the gifted program. So it was all right and good. And of course, we were in the journey with her in a lot of things like reading. We were all very hands on with her. And I feel that the right brain training that I did with her actually helped her. And
Mm.
then when my son came along, it was totally different. So I had a very deep, very, very hard time accepting that he doesn't like to be focused at his table to study. And I remember there was a time when he was 5 years old and he has to do some simple writing. But both of us actually got into a fight and we all cried because it was so hard, that I wanted him to do something, but he doesn't want to. So that was
Wow.
the time. Yeah, it was very difficult. And I know a lot of parents also have this problem where they deal with children who doesn't seem to be interested in studying or not motivated. So we tend to term them as like lazy or even say, oh, they are not good in studies. But actually, to me,
Mm.
yeah, parents should actually think that there are always solutions for them. And I think we want to be happy parents to happy kids as well. And there's always okay, for us it's never say a die attitude is very important because there's always ways we can learn and things we can try. So throughout the times I had with him, I tried different methods, as well as learning from experts, like counselors, even like the teachers in school and principals. I tried and tested on him. So throughout the PSLE period, I was with him, and I was very glad that he was able to be gotten into a top IP school in Singapore, and he's thriving very well. And all his behavioral symptoms has actually really, really reduced to nothing really. So it's really the environment, that can really help a child. And this is how I want to share my value experience with other parents.
Wow, we're really looking forward to your sharing later. We all want to know your three tips. Um, from your experience working with other moms or other parents, what have you identified any other sort of issues that they may face with their children when it comes to studies?
You mean the parents or the children that he face?
I guess more the kids. Yeah. What are some of the other challenges that parents might have?
Because nowadays we are all very challenged by the fact that our children are using our phones much more, and parents are finding a struggle to be able to make a balance between letting them play, but as well as have the time to study. And another thing is, children nowadays are not looking at the textbooks as often as us when we are young, and they are looking for shortcuts. Like they will look at notes, but they are not. I feel that there are certain important things that is still fundamental and foundation. So that's when I feel that it's time that parents will also be involved, to actually our old school ways, right? There's certain things are really good, but certain things are not so good nowadays. But we should all be willing to share with our children, as well as taking a little role in their study. You know,
Right.
some parents are very lucky. They say, "Oh, I don't care about my children. They can do well." I think that's a blessing. But for a lot of children that are struggling, right? I really hope parents can really take a little bit of a role to help them along, and let's look deeper in what is the problem. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Um, I think parents are the best guide and they are the best influence for their child. So
Mm.
certainly,
So what
I
about
think
you as a mindful coach for moms, right? So do you feel that moms are also so important, in instilling the right attitude, even the mindset of children in study?
yes, yes, definitely, because I think moms have big influence on children, especially. And Unfortunately, a lot of moms, especially those who are working, are pretty overwhelmed because they have so many, they have really a multifaceted role. They are, working
Multitasking.
employee, yeah, they're mom, they're, sandwich generation, having to look after seniors, older parents, and also a wife, and then the child's work. So I think a lot of moms are pretty time strapped. And then they try to maximize their time. And so one of the experiences I had was mom telling me that the child isn't paying attention, even though she's sitting next to the child. She realized that she wasn't actually very present, meaning that she was constantly texting on her phone because she felt the need to respond to her work. Which is one of the ills of today's society where technology
Yes.
is there and we feel like we have to work all the time even beyond our working hours. And so I think in terms of coming from the angle of mindfulness, I think being present in whatever you're doing, uh, even when you're helping your child, being present there and not just sitting there physically, but your mind isn't there, makes a difference to child's learning. So when we could address that, I think the child could also study better because they're less distracted by mom typing away next to them.
Correct. So I
Yeah.
feel there's a need to just be aware of what your child is actually experiencing. It could be
Mm,
some stresses in school or some difficulties, and it just takes a parent to actually realize it and
mm,
hopefully can help him along the way.
yes. I think the teachers can also be a big influence for the child's learning. I'm finding that when the child enjoys the teacher, likes the teacher, they are motivated to learn that subject and they like it.
Yes.
And likewise, the other way, if a teacher is uninspiring, they would say, "Oh, I really absolutely hate this class. I don't want to
So
be in this class."
that's a very good point where,
Mm,
even parents as well, the relationship with your child is so important. It's just the same as what you pointed out. If you like the teacher, you would like to learn more, right? So if you like your parents, the relationship is closer. Most likely what your parents say to you is go, and they would
yes.
actually listen to your parents much more if you. So that's why I say it's so important that, relationship goes hand in hand with studies as well. Yeah.
Mm, yes, perfect. Yeah, that point I absolutely agree because I experienced it myself, in very, very recent time. Yeah. Okay, I'm very, very excited to hear what you have to share
Yes.
about your study tips. So without further ado, I'm going to hand this next few minutes to you
All
to
right.
talk about, yeah,
Yeah, okay, can.
your.
So I
Mhm.
will share my screen over here.
Okay, looking forward.
Yeah. Okay, so you're able to see my screen, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so slideshow beginning. Okay. So a little bit about myself, right? So the tactical parenting strategies. I'm also a study coach. So I also have my YouTube channel, and my Facebook page. So welcome to follow me and subscribe to my video. So for more other content, and something about uh, me is that I'm a parenting strategist, I'm a study coach, I also have courses, and I'm also a trainer and a speaker, as well as I have online courses. And for you out here who really must stay till the end of our life because we have valuable freebies and gifts for all the parents out here. So for
Yay.
example, we have this valuable one-page secret weapon because I know parents are so busy these days. We want something that is easily attainable, easy to actually use it on our children and get results. So this is what I have actually planned for our parents here today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and I have the tickets to my upcoming webinar because I know the exams are around the corner, and I really want to help parents to go through this, uh, at least helping the child to have some support. So I have this webinar that's upcoming, so I'll give the tickets to you. Yeah,
Yeah.
and we also have this survey. Remember, Sophie?
Yes, yes,
Yes,
yes.
yes, yes. So we both of us we want to do some school holiday collaboration. So to help, maybe the parents also want to have a break with the child as well. So it's a parent and child kind of class. So we are going to have some suggestions that you can write. You can type in the comments for us. Whether it's a one or two. Okay.
Mm.
So item one is mindfulness for students. Yeah, Sophie, can you tell me what? Maybe you can share some things that you can share with us. Yeah.
Yeah, so mindfulness is a very actually important component that is normally overlooked by students, for students actually, because it actually
Mm.
helps the child to calm down for their exams or when they're doing a test or even the oral exams. Because when you're anxious, you're going to stammer. When you're
Yes.
anxious, you might forget things. So knowing some mindfulness techniques is very important to do your best, right? Be at
Yeah.
the optimal
Yes,
when you're
and
at the exam
reduce
hall.
the careless mistakes
Oh, yeah,
when you are
definitely.
calm. Yes.
Yeah. And then focus is also important because you want to be able to study for a longer time.
Yes.
So there are certain mindfulness techniques that you can use to improve your focus and attention.
Yes. So for me, I'm going to add like either memory techniques for students so that the
Mm,
children can actually learn easier. Okay,
very
or
important.
and choose yes strategies to get cooperation with kids because nowadays I know parents do struggle with their children for them to even to listen to them for certain instructions or even like doing
Mm,
some practices. So this will be and also phone control strategies. I feel is also very important. So I hope you all can look at item one or item two, which you feel is important to you, and you give us your valuable feedback. You just type one or two.
so
Okay.
pop that in the comments as and
Yes, so
when.
it can be a
One
Zoom
or
or
two.
physical session also. So we are thinking of either one or we can do both, to see how the response as well. Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
wonderful.
Yeah, so I want to let you all know what we learn, okay, at the end of this live, okay, because it's important because we have so little time here. So number one, we're going to learn that why smart strategies for exams can be so important for your child to get improved grades because some parents just want their children to get improvements, right? They may not really want them to, get really, really very improvements in a lot of areas, but maybe small improvements, right? And number two, the secret three-step method, which is called the G.S.T, that actually helped my son as well as a lot of my students improve their grades in exams, sometimes as short as 1 week. Okay,
Okay, that's perfect because we have only a few weeks before exams, right?
correct. So
So
let's
there's
all
still
be
time. There's still
attentive.
time. Listen up, yeah.
Yes, and how you can use it, the G.S.T method to achieve the results your child should be deserving. Because I hear a lot of parents they say, "Oh, my child is, can actually score so much, but they didn't." So I think that there's a lot of disappointment, not only yourself as well as children as well, and this can really help that improve their confidence level if they get better results, right? And so why do you think we need to know smart strategies, right? So all we're asking, why just ask the children. The normal ways is that nag the children, right, to study, or we use fear. We say, oh, if
Mm.
you don't pass, you cannot use the computer for another month. Let's say
Whoa.
fear, right? Or
Yeah.
you can use harsh words like some angry words at the child. Uh, you just can do well. Why can't you do well? The kind of words that you use.
Mm.
And some say just study because I think a lot of my even my children as well. You say a lot of parents ask them for the children, the parents of their friends said that usually their parents just tell them just study, you know, and then I feel that it's actually parents support is very important. How to study is very important.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking, like how to study.
Yeah, but
Just
I think
study.
most of us is study, just study, take a book and study, right? So this usually what parents tell the children. So I also want to share with you is that if we do the same thing over and over again, and expect the same result is actually insane. Because we should be expecting doing the same thing. Of course, you will get the same results, but we should do something that is different. So that's why we should look at other things that could help your child. Okay, so let us ask ourselves, if you have a different way, something that is proven, more manageable and effective to get better results. Will you try it, Sophie?
Why not?
Okay, so I have these pictures. Do you want to be a mother, or no? It's like in this picture on the left side that is not so frustrated, so helpless, or you want to be on the right side, the mother that have children that is smiling at whatever they are doing or they are doing for their homework, right? So we want to have the right hand side the picture, right or not, Sophie?
Yes, agree.
Okay. So I also need to tell you all that it's not a method that can instantly change your grades overnight, okay? And this 20 minutes is not going to be enough to go through all the technical portions that are essential for this method to work, okay? But you can ask questions in the comments, right? So it's just a very short, it's a peek to what is the. So my 3-step method is called G.S.T. So it's not good services tax, okay? So G is actually goal setting. So I think a lot of professionals or like us watching this live, you'll know that in our corporate life, we do goal setting like yearly, okay? We do it yearly. But have you ever thought about doing it for our children? Sophie, have you ever thought about that?
We do goal
You
setting
do?
actually. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's nice,
Every
nice.
year. Yep.
Very good, very good. So it's very good habits you have. Okay, but I feel there's still a large portion of parents they actually didn't really apply, you know, and we just like, oh yeah, last year you study 80, so this year you also get the same grades. But it's different, right? Because different grades will have different kind of expectation as well. So S is actually scheduling and planning. So a lot of parents, they really didn't do this part, or the children never do the part, because we cannot always blame on the parents as well. Children should also learn, how they can
Yes.
schedule it. Every day, is it do just this, or is it I will do one stretch 2 hours, of one subject, or should I split it? There's a lot of different questions about it. So I hope you all have any question you all can ask. And planning is important, because if you don't plan, you'll get the anxiety, whether it's parents or the children. So it's also not good for you when you go for exams. And T is so important, but it's a very the hardest thing that to do, right? Taking consistent action. And I feel that a lot of parents are having struggles because there's so many distractions for the children nowadays. Even they come back late, how are they going to study in the next 1 hour before they sleep? So that is because if you don't take consistent action, okay, that day will be wasted, because we are all nearing the exams, and every single day is such an opportunity for a child to learn something and to revise their work. Okay, so goal setting. So like what we say, companies use it, we use it in our professional life, but do you use it at all? So for you, you're so lucky you're using it. It's great, right? So I think for health as well. So when you do coaching, you also do goal setting, right, Sophie?
Yes,
Yes.
definitely. You need to understand where you want to go. You
Yes.
can't go somewhere if you have no idea where you're heading.
Yes, and the mind is the greatest power, right? So
Yes.
you have to use it really well. So whether it's health, personal well. So it's a lesson not only for to do for academics, but actually in all spectrum of your life, and you can teach your child as well. So there's a lot of reasons, But I think most important thing is for academics is that it gives you the focus, it gives you the target, and it's not like you're aimless, you just do well. Yeah, what is do well? What is the determination of doing well?
Yes, yes.
So, and I saw another point that here in the slide is about staying motivated. So, like us as well, if we don't have a goal, like let's say we want to lose 2 kg of our weight, right? If we don't have a goal, and we just say, yeah, lose weight, but we do not know what is that to be motivated about. And of course, the child will not. It's the same as for the child who is studying as well. If they have these goals in mind, they will stay motivated. They will know that, oh, I need to improve. And every day when I do certain things is to go towards the goals faster. So that will be a will for them to work towards.
Yes.
That's right. So there's other reasons, like for example, you set a goal, let's say even you set a high goal, right? But you may not be able to attain it eventually, but at least you set it and then you try your best to reach it. And who knows that you might actually reach it as well. So if you start with zero, then of course you will not even attempt to want to reach it. Yes. So also
Mm.
importantly is that goals help you determine what your children want. Because sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's always parents, we actually
Yes.
want this. But we have you ever asked what the child wants? You know?
Mm.
So I can give you a very case study that I've done is that this child is actually 11 years old. She's a student in primary five, and actually when you look at her grades, actually it's very average or below average. But when you talk to her, what she want, against all the options available, and she actually told us that she want to get more than 90, for all her subjects. And I actually asked her two times, okay, but this is really what she wanted. But because she couldn't get it, it doesn't mean that she doesn't want it. So that was a very a case study that I remember until this day. That I feel that parents have so much more that you can bring your children to the next level. Whether you believe in your child, believe in yourself, and whether you want to have the time to actually talk to your child.
Mm.
Any kind of insights about this?
Well, something came to mind when you're talking about goal setting. I think it's also important to have an appropriate goal. And if it's too far off for the child, they might get they might lose their not say self-esteem, right? But they might feel like it's so unattainable and they give up, right?
Yeah,
So I
correct.
think going step by step
Mm.
is going to be really helpful. So if you're like scoring, I don't know, 80, maybe 90 might be far, I don't know. And then maybe you could set like 83 or 85. So it's
Yes,
like, and when you hit that 85, you're actually going to go like, whoa, I
yes,
achieved something, let's go for the next. Then it's kind of
correct.
attainable. Yeah.
Yes, but to me, I feel that if the child really has this in mind, we should not. I mean, we can ask them, "Are you sure? Do you want to work hard on it?" Then, if the answer is yes, I think we should also support the idea. No
Mm,
matter. Yeah, I feel that it's an attempt. We tell the child, let's try. But if we didn't get it, we should not be disappointed. I think
mm,
the mindset is important. So we tell them
yes,
the
yes.
rules. Yes, number one, you want to get that unattainable goal, you got to work hard. Are you prepared? So if the child says yes,
Mm,
of sure, you'll be very happy to actually go along the flow. And if the results doesn't come back, you must tell them in advance that what if it doesn't work that way. So will you work harder next time? And will you be disappointed and not try again? So these are the things that we can preempt the child as
yes.
well.
I think the gist of it you're saying is it's important to empower the child
Mm,
and that they are the ones that want that, not the parents, and then it's a lot more meaningful for them.
because it comes from their heart and what they
Mm,
want. It will be more powerful than you keep saying the same thing.
yes,
So
definitely.
yeah, so
Great.
very good. Okay.
Just checking if you have any
Any questions, right?
comments. Yeah, I don't see any questions. Nope, so far.
Okay, great. Okay. So never mind, we'll go to another slide of mine.
Mhm.
So, this is a testimonial of my one of my student that actually tried on the G.S.T method that I did with her. She's just
Mm,
2 weeks away from PSLE actually.
mm,
So we tried the method, to say that what she wrote for me is that because she actually quite fearful of mathematics, right? So we implemented the G.S.T method, and her answer from the chat is that she said that she feels calmer, because she actually did the G.S.T properly, okay, even though it's 2 weeks, and she finds that it's easier, and she finds that she is not so fearful when she go for the maths exam. So I
mm,
feel that's important, that our children has that mindset that they are planned, rather than they go to an exam that is panicky and with
mm,
anxiety. Yeah. So here is that the slide is about whether you can do a long-term one and a short-term goal for your child.
mhm,
So we can do one that I say the exams are around the corner. We can do a short-term one with him, and of course, a long-term one will be maybe the end of the year exams. So importantly is that we must stir the emotions in the child. That is important for us to set a good goal for them. That
mm.
means they feel excited, they feel glorified if they get the results that they want. So emotions will help the child to want to attain it easier. So like what you
Great.
say, this is the SMART method, right? We all know, right? Like you say, what we must do it achievable, right? So we also need to be specific. Like for example, it's like 65, what is the mark that you want to try to attain.
Mhm.
You need to, of course, measurable is marks, it's easy to measure, and of course, realistic. Like you say, if the child is having 50s, right, can we expect them to get 80s in just a short time? So we need to be realistic, and maybe
Yes.
probably try 60. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and then timely means that, yeah, we should do it maybe after a setback or something, or maybe there's it's just maybe 1 month before exam or 2 weeks before exam. At least we do a we at least must look at the timeline, then we can do a proper goal setting. Yeah. And then
Mm.
importantly is there's the three-step method is actually G.S.T, right? So goal
Mm.
setting, we already know how to do the goal setting using the SMART. Then of course the scheduling and planning and taking consistent action. I'm sure a lot of parents also wants to know. But I told you we only have very limited time here, but I will go through with you in the webinar for those really interested parents, because I know that this is lunchtime and we just want to have the gist of how we can help our children fastest. Maybe you can go back and do the goal setting with them and inspire them, motivate them, right? Then you can come for my course. So and then yeah, so now we're going to talk about our gifts for our parents who have stayed to this end, right? So I've said that I'm going to provide the resources to parents who want to learn further from my G.S.T method. So you can take a snapshot of this slide so that you can after that you can go to the link, and then what you need is just an Eventbrite account, and they will send you the email and with the link for the webinar. So the webinar is actually I set it like this Sunday and also coming Tuesday, so that it's timely. Okay, so I hope everyone who is very motivated to want to do something else, and it's absolutely free because of Sophie here. Sophie really wants our
Oh,
fans and all the parents to really really benefit from these exams. Okay, that's great.
yay! Thank you so much. Wow.
Mm. Okay, so for me, I have a course that I have
Mhm.
with One Academy. So it's actually a tuition center at Bukit Timah area, and
Mm.
actually I'm giving you a discount of $20. The course is called 10 times your child's performance in exams. So, and I have a video on this course, so you also can take a snapshot and you can look at what is going on in this course. And if you're interested, you just have to tell me that you came from my Sophie's live Facebook live, and I'll give you the discount. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, and then the sign up is very simple. There's a QR code, and you just have to take a snapshot. Okay. Yeah,
okay.
so the details is here, and most important thing is the secret weapon that I told you that I'm going to give it to you. So this is
Mm.
a link, right, that you can download. So what you need to do is you click the enroll button and you put your email in, and after that you can log in again, right? The email will have the details of how to log in, and you click the download button at the bottom. So it's actually a PDF that you can use straight away. You can put it on the fridge. You can put it after talking to your child. You can implement it straight away. Okay, so Sophie can also do the same.
Thank you.
Okay,
Wow.
so the last one is actually for parents who really are like frustrated or helpless, or like one of my parents who was with me for the past 4 months. Right, she told me that she's really fed up, okay, and tired because she has been like trying to her child to study a good habit, study habit, but failed. So I can feel the parents that, sometimes you have done like 6 years already trying to get them to study, but they are distracted, or they probably are not agreeing, as well as they are not able to listen to you for instructions now. And I feel that I have actually added value to this parent by, really be the bridge between the parent and the child, and we find that it actually eases off the anxiety of the mother as well. So the child can also be in a better environment to study. And with setting goals and all this, I can do that as well with the child. So I'm giving to all the fans out here for Sophie that a discount of 20% on any sessions that you want with me. So you just need to say you have went to Sophie's live. Okay.
Oh, that's so
So
generous. Thank you, Jasline.
yeah, thank you, Sophie. I really think that it is such a big headache. A lot of parents out here.
Mm,
Yeah, sometimes they don't have the
wonderful.
techniques.
So you
Sometimes they
work
don't
with
have the
both. Mhm.
patience. Mm.
So you work with both the child and the parents, too, or just the child?
Uh, Both. Actually, to
Mm.
me, is the strategy is I will understand from a child's perspective first using Google Forms to understand what is the first thing that they want to work on,
Mm.
and then from there we need the parent to also be involved. So this will synergize the whole program. But if you are very busy parent, I'm sure that I can handle the child as well. Yeah, because there are also, but the bigger support that you give for a child will definitely produce better results. This way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Agree, totally. Wonderful, wonderful.
So
Such
I
wonderful resources.
so the survey, I hope everybody take part in the survey, whether you
Mm.
want item 1 or 2. Yeah.
Hmm.
So you can tell us in the comments. And of course, for my own fans, right? So please also follow Sophie on her Facebook groups, which is Hearty Moms, or you can go to the Hearty Working Mom Circle, yeah,
Oh,
and then
thank
join
you.
her group. Okay.
Yeah. Look
That's
forward to
all.
welcoming all of
Yes.
you.
Yes, Sophie. Any other thoughts and words you want to ask?
Well, I do have a bonus question for you
Okay.
that I normally ask our expert speakers. So, the question is, our group is really about hearty moms, right? And so I would like to ask you, in your opinion, how do you define a hearty mom?
Oh, hearty mom. Okay.
Yeah.
I think a hearty mom is a very positive, okay, person who actually managed to, okay, we all be positive, okay, in all our words and actions, really, because whatever we do, we influence our children as well. That's very important. And we learn to laugh, we learn to lead a life that we want our children to have. So we are the role models of
Yeah.
our children. That's what I think hearty mom should be.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for your sharing.
Thank you,
Okay,
Sophie.
great. So, yeah, for all of you who have joined us today or who are watching the replay, I'm going to be putting in all the different links that you can click on to find out more about what Jasline does, join her webinars,
Do our survey.
or yeah, and pop in the comments. What sort of workshops would be interesting for you, like 1 or 2. Yeah, and we hope to hear from you more. So thank you, Jaslyn, for today. I've learned a lot. We really thoroughly enjoyed talking to you in this chat, and I'm sure our listeners, audience, had massive value from what you shared today. So thank you so
Yes.
much for joining us.
Yeah, reach out to me if you need. Yeah. Thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
Have
So
a good
without further
day.
ado, yeah, bye everyone. And I'm
Bye
going to look
bye.
for my stop live button. And there it goes.
Okay.
Bye. Have a good weekend ahead.
Bye.